Have you heard someone talk about AI agents and thought, yeah, that sounds cool, but that's not for me? Maybe you've seen developers using Claude code in their terminal typing commands and it just looks intimidating. I get it. I felt the same way at first, but here's the thing. Anthropic just built something specifically for people like us. People who don't code, people who just want to get work done faster without learning a new programming language first. It's called Claude Cowork, and it might be the single easiest way to experience what everyone means when they say agentic AI. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set it up. It only takes about 2 minutes. And then we're going to do 3 hands-on demos together so you can see just how powerful it is. I'm also going to show you some brand new features that just dropped, including the ones that let Claude do work for you on a schedule, even while you're sleeping. And at the end, I'm going to give you a practice challenge you can try right now to build your confidence. So stick around for that. Let's dive in. So let me explain what Cowork actually is, because the name tells you a lot. Now, I want to point out this is the app that I'm going to show you how to install in just a moment. You probably already know what Claude, the AI chatbot, you type a question, it gives you an answer. That's the chat tab right here. Great for brainstorming, writing help, answering questions, but Cowork is the tab right next to it. And the difference is huge. In the regular chat, Claude talks about work. In Cowork, Claude does the work. When you use Cowork, you give Claude access to a folder on your computer. Then you describe what you want done in plain English, nothing fancy, and Claude makes a plan, executes it step by step, and delivers real files back to you. We're talking about actual Excel spreadsheets with working formulas, actual PowerPoint presentations you can edit, actual organized folders. It's like having a coworker you can hand a task to, walk away, and come back with finished work. Now, if you've heard of Claude Code, I actually made a beginner's video on that. I'll link it up here and in the description. Cowork is built on the exact same technology, same powerful AI, same agent architecture. The difference is Claude Code runs in a terminal and designed for developers. Cowork wraps all that power in a simple desktop interface that anyone can use, no terminal required. The best part, everything runs in a safe, sandboxed environment on your computer. Claude can't access anything you haven't specifically shared with it, and it will always ask your permission before deleting any files, so you're in control the whole time. Now, you might be wondering, do I need to be technical to use this? Absolutely not. If you can write a message to a coworker describing what you need, you can use Cowork. That's the bar. Let me show you how to get started. All right, let's get you set up. This is genuinely just a 2-minute process. And the first thing I need to point out here is that you do need at least the Pro plan to be using Claude Cowork. And this runs for, I think in this case, they're showing it as a yearly thing at $17, but you can pay $20 a month if you're paying monthly. And it's also available in the Max plans. The free version of it you won't have that available for you. So you need to have at least the Pro. Okay, so if you want to download it, what we need to do is go to either here, and I'll put the link to this in the description, but how I would normally do it once I have my account is when I'm just here in the chat here, down in the left-hand corner, we can go down here, get apps and extensions. And right here is where we can download. Right now, I'm on my Windows. I have it already installed on my Mac computer, but I'm on Windows here. So you can see we can download for Windows right here. We have the options for mobile down here as well, but I'm just showing you from my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and just click download for Windows. Now, since we have it downloaded, I'm just going to go ahead and click on it. And you're going to notice when you're on Windows, it's going to ask you to turn this on for developers for mode. And I'm just going to click yes. And I'm already under system and I can just move down a bit. And this is what I need to have turned on: developer mode, install apps from any source. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and I'm just going to go and click yes. Now I'm just going to go back to it again and open it one more time, and you can see that it's going to get installed. And I'm going to click Get Started. I do need to connect with my account. I'm just going to connect with Google. I'm just going to go ahead and click Continue. So here we have, this is installed on our computer right here. And right now you'll notice that this looks the same as the chat that we were online. And that's where I could use this now that's installed on my computer. But where we're going to be going up to is up top to Cowork. All right, demo number one. And I picked this one because I think literally everyone can relate to this. Look at this folder. This is my actual downloads folder. It has PDF, screenshots with useless names, duplicate files, random installers. It's a mess. Normally cleaning this up would take me at least an hour of dragging and renaming, might even take me longer than that. I want to see what Cowork can do with this. So I'm going to switch over, and this is the prompt I'm going to give it. Organize this folder, sort files into subfolders by type, document, images, spreadsheet, others, rename any files that have generic names like download or image to something descriptive based on their content, find and remove duplicates, give me a summary when you're done. So I do need to pick the folder. So I'm going to just click here, and I'm going to just click on my downloads and put select. Now you can go ahead and test this out if you have a different folder. If you don't feel comfortable giving it to your downloads, just try this on a different folder and put some random things in it. It's not going to delete anything without asking for permission about deleting things first. I have to give it access here. I can always give it access to this or just give it once, and I'm just going to click the allow here. But before I go and hit enter or click let's go, quick note on two things beginners always ask about. First, the model. And I'm just going to drop down right here. You'll see a model selector here in Cowork. Sonnet is usually it's on by default. And honestly, for most everyday tasks like this, Sonnet is great. It's fast and gets the job done. If you're working on something more complex where you really need the best reasoning, you can switch to Opus, but it's slower and uses more of your allowance. So my advice is start with Sonnet. You can always switch later. Second thing, usage. Cowork uses more of your daily allowance than regular chat because Claude is doing a lot more work behind the scenes. So don't burn through your whole allowance on experiments. Use regular chat for quick questions and save Cowork for the bigger multi-step task where it really shines. You can check your usage anytime in the settings. So as Cowork continues to go through, you can see that there was progress. They scanned all the folders. They noticed that there were 727 files. It popped up and asked me some questions that I did answer. And you can see the first one, they were asking about consolidating some folders. It gave me some options. I said keep, consolidate. And then they also said I had a lot of videos and audio files and how would I like to handle them. So I told them I'd like to separate them into video and audio files separately because they asked, do we want to put it all in one, or do we want them separating it? So it goes through and double checks these things before it goes and does it. So it's done, and that was literally under 5 minutes. I know I didn't record the whole thing. I didn't think you wanted to watch that. Let's take a look at what we had happen. Gave me a little bit of information here. Got it. I'll create documents, image, spreadsheet, video, audio, and others, plus consolidate the number of courses. Organize download folders by moving 15 duplicate files. And we have the summary right here. So this is going to be, so in the documents, we have 98 files. You can see they put PDF, Word, PowerPoint, HTML. We have all my images now in the image folder, spreadsheets, 47, video, 71, audio, other course material, duplicates. Let's see what else they've done. 44 duplicates were moved, so they didn't delete them. They moved them rather than permanently deleted review, then folder and delete it myself. I like that, so nothing's been deleted out of this. 93 files renamed, so all these Gemini images that I create with Nano Banana files were renamed in here. 15 course folders, 11 other subfolders. So let's go ahead and take a look at this folder now. So look at this. This is my download folders. I showed you what it looked like before. Now everything is completely organized in my download folder. Here's the duplicate folder right here that they said that these were duplicates. So I can go through, if I want to delete them, I can just delete this whole folder. So maybe I can move these things out of my downloads and put them somewhere else, but everything's organized and saved me a lot of time. Okay, demo 2. This one's going to blow your mind if you've ever had to manually enter receipt data into a spreadsheet. I have a folder here, and I'll just open it up really quickly here. And these are just screenshots, and I'll just show you what they're in each of these. So just kind of images, there's receipts here. I'm going to go through and just to kind of give you an idea, all the different types there are, different lighting, they're torn up, some are, wrinkled and everything like this, pen marks. So this is going to be the folder that I am going to be looking in here. So I'm going to choose a different folder, and it is just on my desktop, I believe, right here. Select, and I'm going to allow. Now, this is going to be my prompt. I have received photos in this folder. Create an expense report as an Excel spreadsheet. Include columns for date, vendor, category, amount, and payment method. Add formulas for totals by category. Include conditional formatting to highlight anything over $50. Create a summary section with a chart showing spending by category. And I'm going to leave this on Sonnet here, 4.6, and I'm going to click Let's Go. So that took about 4 minutes or less, I would say, on that run. It read through the receipts. I've read all 12 receipt photos. Let me build the Excel, 0 errors across all 29 formulas. Now saving to workspace. Your expense report is ready. You can see it over on the side. They're telling me what they used with the sum if and count if functions here. There's the categories. Here is my Excel file. Let's go ahead and open this up. I'm going to allow. And there we have our expense report here. So it has the amounts, the payment method on here. I'll go to the summary, the chart that I asked for. So you can see how this really changes a lot for people working with spreadsheets, how quickly that this put this together, how much time that would have taken me, how many hours to do all that. It's just incredible. All right. One more demo, and this one shows where Cowork really starts to feel like magic. I've got this folder here with scattered notes from a project. Some are meeting notes, some are brainstorm docs, some are just random thoughts. In the real world, turning this pile of notes into a polished report would take a couple hours minimum. I'm just going to move this out of the way, and you can see some of the documents that are in this one here. We have all sorts of stuff from Word to the PowerPoint. I'm not going to bother saving any of these ones. We'll just move those out of the way. Now I want to go to this folder. I just have a research and report one. It's going to be just on my desktop here, right here, and I'm going to give it permission, allow. This is the prompt I'm going to use. Look through all the notes in this folder, synthesize everything into a professional project summary report as a Word document, include an executive summary, key decisions made, open action items with owners, timeline, and other risks or concerns mentioned. Also, search the web for any relevant industry benchmarks I should include. Make it look polished and ready to share with leadership. And you know what? I'm going to move this to Opus 4.6 on this one, and I'm going to click Let's Go. Now we can watch the right sidebar. We can see how Claude is spinning up these multiple workers. It's reading different file types in parallel, doing web search at the same time, and coordinating all of this together. And by the way, we saw how Claude was searching the web. That's built in, but if you want to take it even further, there's a free Chrome extension called Claude in Chrome that lets Cowork actually browse websites, click around, and pull information from pages just like you would. So if you need Claude to go to a specific site, fill out the form, grab data from a page, that doesn't show up in a simple search. It can do that too. So I'll leave the link down below for the extension in the description. All right, it's all done. We can view our report. Here's the sources that they searched from on the web. I'm just going to click on View the Report. I'm going to also click on Open in Word here and allow. I'll just bring it over. So this is what was created. We'll just kind of scroll through this here. It took all that information. You can see we have the different charts in it and everything put together into this nice professional format. So if you knew your audience specifically, you could cater it towards that audience. So I did say executives in mine. So this was put together. Again, this took under 5 minutes to go through all those files and create this. Okay, now I want to show you something brand new. This literally just launched days ago, and it's a game changer. It's called Scheduled Task. And the concept is simple. You describe a task once, pick how often you want to run it, daily, weekly, hourly, whatever, and Claude does it automatically on that schedule. Think about that for a sec. You don't even have to remember to start it. Claude just does the work at the time you set. Let me show you how to set this up. There are 2 different ways. So here's one way. We can just, inside Cowork, we can use a / and start typing schedule. Here it is here. So you can see they're kind of giving you a hint, create a scheduled task that can run on demand automatically in an interval. So if I go ahead and say this, organize any new files in my download folders into the existing subfolder structure, delete duplicates, give me a summary of what is cleaned up. Now I'm going to just click let's go. Notice in the prompt, I didn't tell how often I want this done. I could have just wrote that into the prompt, but I knew they were going to ask me. I'm going to say weekly, and I'm going to say downloads. I'm going to say Monday at 9 a.m. It's all set up, and here's what got put together. It's going to scan for duplicates across the entire downloads folder, including subfolders, move loose files from the top level downloads into your existing subfolders, print a summary of everything changed, duplicates removed, files. So everything I asked for is there. So this is ready to go. It's all scheduled, and it's going to keep my download folder clean. The other way we can schedule, if we go over to the left right here, we have it on the left-hand side. I'm just going to click it, and you can see these are going to be different scheduled tasks. If I go ahead and click New Task, this is where I can fill out everything here. And maybe I make something like this for content research. I give it a description. I give it a prompt, maybe like this. Search the web of the latest news and trends in whatever your industry is. So you would just fill that out, compile a summary report with links in my research folder. So I'd have to make a research folder for that. I go and pick a model, and then I can pick the frequency. And just like that, it's going to be continuously doing that research, putting it in that folder on my computer. Key thing to understand is that scheduled tasks have access to everything regular Cowork tasks do. So your connections, your plugins, web search, all of it. So you're basically putting your entire Cowork workflow on autopilot. Now your computer does need to be on and the Claude app open for these to run, but for most of us who have our computer on during work hours anyway, this is incredible. One more new feature I want to put on your radar, and what's making a lot of headlines this month, Cowork now connects with the tools you already use through something called connectors. As of this week, you can connect Claude to Google Drive, Gmail, Google Calendar, DocuSign, WordPress, and a growing list of others. What this means practically is that Claude can pull context from these tools while it's working. So instead of you having to download a file from Google Drive, upload it to Claude, get the result, and then re-upload it, Claude just accesses it directly. Let me show you where these are. If you just head down, hitting the plus here, we can see connectors here. We just can go manage connectors. You can see I have Drive Search right here. I'm going to go and click manage connectors. And here we have some quick ones. If I wanted my Gmail connected, I could go ahead and connect it. Up top here, I'm going to hit the plus, and you're going to see the list with browse connectors. And take a look at this. We have all of these different ones. Every time I look, this seems to be growing. So if you're using any of these ones, take a search, look by type or categories, and you'll be able to connect your Claude Cowork directly to this to save you a lot of time and make things a lot more efficient. Another way you can get your connectors and other things, you can click Customize here, and we'll see connectors right here. And it'll open it up and to the same place. The other thing I want to point out are skills. And I want to put these on your radar. Skills are basically saved instructions that teach Claude how you like things done, your preferred formatting, your writing style, how you want reports structured. Think of it training a new coworker on your preferences so you don't have to repeat yourself every time. Here's the listed skills in here, but if I go ahead and hit the add here, the plus, create with Claude, write skill instructions, or upload a skill. Now, since I'm clicked on this one right now, this is added by Anthropic, and you can see it will give an idea of what that specific skill is, and you can take a look at different ones. All right, I promised you a practice challenge, and I want you to actually try this. Don't just watch, do it. That's how you can build some confidence here. So here's your challenge. It has 3 levels, and I want you to start with level 1 today. So level 1, your first cowork should only take about 5 minutes. Create a test folder with about 15-20 random files from anywhere. Open Cowork and ask Claude to organize them into subfolders by type. Watch it work. That's it. Just experience it. Level 2, create something useful. Maybe take 15 minutes. Pick a real task from your own life. Receipts to organize, notes to compile, files to convert. Write a prompt describing what you need, like what we did in the demos. See what Claude produces. Edit the results if needed and use it for real. Level 3, set up scheduled tasks. Take about 10 minutes. Think of something you do every week that's repetitive. Set up a scheduled task using a schedule. Let it run for a week and see how it feels to come back to finished work. Drop me a comment down below telling me which level you tried and what you asked Claude to do. I'd love to hear about it, and it might give other users idea of what their first task will be. Look, I know AI can feel overwhelming. There's a new tool every week, and it seems like you need to be a developer to use any of them. But Cowork is different. It's designed for people who just want to get the work done. No code, no terminal, no technical background required. Describe what you want, and Claude does it. If you found that this video has made you feel a little bit more comfortable about trying it, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got more tutorials coming on this specific plugins and advanced workflows you can build with Cowork. I'll see you in the next one.